Yo, what's happening? It's your boy Dalima, and you are now watching TRAYZE TV, my nigga. Dalima is the Midwest Chopper. Dalima is the newest artist on Made Sick Music Midwest. You know what I mean? Also known as one of the faster spitters where I'm from. So that's what Dalima is, man. It's pretty interesting how I got the name. I got the name from Tech9, who saw me coming up in the game. I was probably about 16, 17 years old when I actually started working with Tech, and I didn't have a rap name. You know what I mean? So the crazy part about it is he asked me who I was, and you know everybody want to get these interested. Oh, I'm such and such, or I'm little this, or I'm little that. Well, I didn't have that. My name was Reggie. Which is my real name. So, you know, I told him my name was like Reggie E or something crazy. And he's like, you know, so you really don't got a rap name? I'm like, nah, I ain't got no rap name. So, you know, he was like, well, tell you what, I'm gonna give you a rap name. And left the studio, and probably about a day or two later, he walks in the door, sees me, and he points at me and was just like, Dalima. And I'm like, what? He's like, that's your new name. That's your rap name, Dalima. Cause you're a lyrical problem for these niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I can dig it. So that's how a nigga got the name. Ever since I've been rocking with it. Man, it's a little personal, don't you? No, I'm playing. I mean, it was cool. You know, I had my mom and my dad in my life. You know what I'm saying? My dad is a huge inspiration on my music. He was actually a legendary guitarist. So he did, and don't mind the music in the background. I'm at the studio. So he was a legendary guitarist throughout Kansas City and all around the world. He toured with B.B. King, you know, played and opened up for like Bobby Blue Bland and, you know, groups like that. But he taught me how to play the drums when I was 2, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I actually got into music. I was playing in live clubs by the time I was 12. And I actually started rapping at like 8, you know what I mean? So once the nigga started doing that, I just took off with it, man. But I mean, as far as my childhood, man, it was always music with me. You know what I mean? All of them. You got EPMD, you got Rakim, you got Eric B and Rakim, you got Run DMC, you got I was even like Special Ed, Heavy D, Tribe Called Quest. You know what I mean? Of course, Wu-Tang was a heavy influence. Redman was my guy, man. No, I know he wasn't in the Wu-Tang, but I was on Redman heavy. I was on a lot of East Coast rap, you know what I'm saying? That's where I actually learned how to, you know, put words together where it was like really interesting. They always had fundamental to their, you know, to their style. So that's how I actually got into it, my nigga. And like, I can't even name all the people. I mean, you can go all the way up to Tupac and now Eminem and now, I mean, like, so growing up, man, it was just like everybody that was popping at the time, I was really listening to, you know what I'm saying? When I decided to become a rapper, shit, when I was 8, man. I was 8 years old, and I just, you know, it was going on. It was everywhere, you know what I mean? Everybody was rapping. Everybody was, as far as music, everybody was into music, I should say. Everybody wasn't rapping at the time. Everybody was just into music. And so with it being like a big fad at the time, you know, naturally a nigga just got pulled into it. And shit, I remember I had like a little, my pops got me a little Casio with like 4 pads on it to sample and shit. So I actually was, you know, like half-ass producing and shit too. Thought I was a producer. Sampled every hook that everybody samples, which is Zap and Roger. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it, my nigga. Of my own music,
yes, sir.
I am as a solo artist, I'm very proud of my song, like Money Sound.
Anger.
Yeah, I mean, it was more so just being able to really create a movement within the music. It wasn't just like, you know, I had to do a lot of different, you know, I had to think like a kind of an R&B singer a little bit, you know, I still got my little twist on, you know, I wanted to do something different, which is something I like to do on every song. Every song I do, I never want it to be something expected, you know what I mean? Like a lot of rappers, what they do is what they're going to do over and over and over and over. And nothing against niggas, like, you know what I'm saying? But me, I always try to reach. I always try to reach and do something different. But Money Sound was one of them songs where I felt like it worked. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to grasp that a lot of times, so I'm really proud of that song. You know what I mean? Wow. Got a lot of memorable moments, man. I know for me, working with Tech, working with Brother Lynch, was a very big big time for me because it gave me a lot of exposure that I hadn't had before. And then replacing Eminem on the song, which was Welcome to My World, was really an incredible opportunity for me. That was really memorable. You feel me? And being able to stand out and actually get recognition from it. You know what I mean? It was one thing to just rap on it, but for people to actually embrace what I was doing and be like, man, that nigga's hard, that nigga dope. You know what I'm saying? That was memorable. You know what I mean? It was in magazines. I was at FYE with Tech. You know, when they did the release and all that, signed autographs. It was really big, man. Another point was being able to connect with QD3. My brother did a lot of work with Quincy Jones III. Tech and did too. And you know, when he reached out and I was able to connect with him and just holler at him, you know what I mean? I was memorable. Doing my own tour, my first tour in Colorado was really big. A lot of people came out and supported. I think we damn near sold out by myself headlining, so that felt really good. And also being invited to Sweden, man. Man, I'm on Sweden when the guy David Hanna called me, man. It was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sweden. He's like, yeah, people over here want to see you, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was a real memorable moment for your boy, you know what I mean? I'm usually with my kids, man. I'm really big on my family outside of music at this point, you know what I'm saying? I just went through a situation, you know what I mean, where they was trying to, you know, pin attempted murder on me, first degree. So I learned a lot from that situation, you know what I mean? Just being in a position where it could all be over, you know? It could all be over any minute, you never know. And it was self-defense, but at the same time, it's all about what you can prove, you know what I mean? When you're dealing with the system, it's like that, so, you know, now it's just me and my kids, man. It's me and my kids. When I ain't doing music, I ain't at the studio, I ain't on the road, I ain't, you know, I don't even hang out at the club no more, you know what I mean? I'm with my family, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if I look like a drummer, but yeah, drums is definitely my first love. So being able to play drums, I still play with my pops from time to time. He'll get some gigs at a couple places, some clubs. We rehearse, get together, have a good time. You know, I got an old soul, I guess, because of them. You know what I mean? You know, but yeah, that's usually, you know, what it is, man. That's my secondary hobby. Yes. This new album on Made Sick is gonna be called No Comment, and that's where I'm addressing everything that I kind of talk about in the interviews, and that's where I'll actually be able to, you know, the irony is that I'll be commenting on everything that people wanted to know about me, you know what I mean? But it's called No Comment, as if, you know what I mean, like I really don't want to address it, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be some personal shit on there. It's gonna be some shit that I feel like people needed to know, you know what I mean? Especially, like I said, I hate to keep dwelling on it, but going through that situation, it really opened my eyes to a whole lot of shit. And I want to be able to reach out to the younger generation. I want to be able to reach out to the people who just didn't know, my fans in general, people who just didn't know what was going on. I want to be able to inform them that, you know what I mean? It's a dirty game out here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be ready at all times. You can't just talk it. You know what I mean? If you all about talk, you will be tested. You hear me? So it's crazy, but yeah, that's what I'm working on right now is the No Comment album on the Made Sick label. We should be touring here, I think, in April. I leave in March for a tour in Texas, and you know, then we got Sweden again, which I just got called like about 4 days ago about that. So we really just, you know what I'm saying, we working, we grinding, man. It's a lot going on, and being under Made Sick now and being one of the forefront. Shout out to my nigga Tanglo, my nigga Brother Lynch, the whole Made Sick family. You know what I mean? Being in that position on the Midwest side, you know, we the frontline soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So we got to step out, nigga, and definitely be ready to do what we got to do as far as holding our own in this music, man. You know what I mean? But it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Some things I just can't speak on yet, but that should be good enough. Now I just want to give a shout out to my peoples, man. Give a shout out to the Made Sick family, like I said before. You know, definitely a shout out to Strange, man. Y'all opened a lot of doors for everybody. You know what I mean?